So with that, I'm going to jump over into a live demonstration of PortalGuard. I would like to start to show some context about how our customers are actually using PortalGuard out there in the wild, so to speak. So first, this is an example of the city of Sacramento, which is a longstanding customer of ours. And this is for their employee access or internal identity access. As you can see here, fully customizable, brandable, and can be right in line with the experience you provide in all of your other online or technology assets. The second example I have here is what is known as customer IAM, or in this case, it's for students. This is the Coast College Community College District, and they've really taken the customization to the next level, offering FAQs, offering technical support links, and really branding this out to make sure that it is an enjoyable experience for their students when accessing online. So with that, I'm going to go over to my instance of PortalGuard. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to be an employee today for demonstration purposes. As mentioned, we fully support all of these capabilities for customers and students or external identities. And also all of these features are primarily available from the browser, as you're seeing here, but we also offer desktop login support. So a lot of the capabilities, the self-service password reset, multi-factor authentication is also available from the Control-Alt-Delete or the desktop login. So first scenario, I'm an employee. I'm going to log in to access my portal and applications from here. However, as I go to type in my password, I actually don't remember what my password is. I've forgotten it. Now, this is a very common thing that happens, right? A lot of help desk volume is created by that. But with PortalGuard, instead of me calling IT support and taking up their time to reset the password, that's where PortalGuard's self-service password reset comes in. With that, I can simply click the link and say that I've forgotten my password. Now, as you can see here, we offer multiple options. These are all configurable by security policy. And so we can do things like unlock an account, reset a forgotten password, or even recover a current password that they may have. PortalGuard also supports offline password recovery for some of those remote workers or remote situations. So in this case, I'm going to reset my forgotten password and click continue. Now here comes the multi-factor authentication part, right? To prove I am who I say I am before I'm allowed to reset that password. We'll get into the multi-factor authentication options in just a moment. In this case, you can see I can pick from challenge answers, or I can do a second factor or a one-time passcode. In this case, I'm going to select the OTP and have that text to my phone, which you're going to see on the right-hand side. So we're going to open up, get my passcode. You can see that that was text to me. I'm going to enter that in. And now I'm brought up to create a new password. So as you can see here, one of the nice things about the experience that PortalGuard offers is that I'm clearly presented with the complexity rules that my administrator has actually created for me. So in this case, I'm going to type in the new password. As you see here, I'm actually given indications that everything's turning green, right? That I'm actually entering in a password that's valid. Perfect. So I've reset the password successfully, and now I can continue to log in. Now going into the login, as you can see here again, I'm being asked to do multi-factor authentication. Adds a great level of security and prompts me for additional factors to really truly prove I am who I say I am. In this case, again, username and password has been entered. PortalGuard does support passwordless options as well. Now, in this case, it's configured, as you can see here, that the OTP would be sent to my email address. But what happens if I don't have access to my email or I'm unable to get that OTP? In this case, I'm able to be able to say that method doesn't work for me. Let's pick a different method that's been enabled for me by my security policy. In this case, I'm going to select BioKey Mobile Auth, which, as I mentioned, is our unique identity-bound biometric offering. On the right-hand side, you can see my phone has received a push notification, and it's asking me to authenticate inside of the Mobile Auth application. I've already enrolled my palm. It's going to ask me to hold still. Liveness detection flashes, scans my palm print, and I'll be automatically logged in to my account. And now I'm accessing my account management page. So all of the flows that you've seen, whether it's a login, whether it's prompting for challenge questions and answers, whether it's resetting my password, all of that is completely configurable by security policies, which I'll show in just a minute. Now that I'm logged in as a user, I can see my account details and activity. I can also see that I've enrolled my challenge questions, for example. And then you can also see that I have multi-factor delivery methods. So out of all the authentication methods that PortalGuard supports, over 16, getting close to 20 or so when you break them all out, the user can have the ability to configure those and set them for their own based on the security policy that they are in. So in this case, if I wanted to change my website login to then use that mobile auth app every single time, I can default that and change it easily. Now, for single sign-on, that's the last area in terms of the user experience that we want to show. So PortalGuard easily supports any workflows where the user logs into PortalGuard, which you're going to see today, and then gains access to the application. PortalGuard also supports the user directly going to the application and then being redirected to log into PortalGuard and then brought back to the application. If you're familiar with SSO, those are the difference between an IDP-initiated workflow and an SP-initiated workflow. In this case, I'm going to be the user who logged into PortalGuard first, as mentioned, and then is accessing the application. So I can easily go to our SSO portal. This portal only has one application in it at this point in time because that's what my policy today is allowing. If I had 10, 20, 50 applications, they would all be shown here, and I can easily group them, search them, filter for them, and update them as I need to as the end user. So from here for single sign-on, you can see it's G Suite in this case. I simply click, and I'm going to be immediately logged in to my G Suite without any other authentication required. Again, PortalGuard supports single sign-on for all application types, even your thick client applications or legacy applications that you may have. So that's the end user experience that we went through. Now let's look at how the admin actually interfaces with PortalGuard. And so, as mentioned, the PortalGuard admin panel really provides this simple administrator experience that empowers you, the admins, and IT users to efficiently manage user access. So the admin panel can be used, as you can see here, to manage users, add directories, control SSO app connections, and configure security policies, and more all in one place. For today, I'm going to do just a quick look at our security policies so that you can see what really drove that experience for me as the employee that I just went through. So here I have my security policies configured. You can see I have some for customers, desktop, MFA. In this case, I was a remote employee that was being set or using PortalGuard in that example. So from here, first thing I can look at, and that's important, is login. So how does this user, or how does this group of users log in? PortalGuard, as mentioned, supports contextual authentication, which is using things like geography, network, and IP to add context around the user's authentication request and either block it or request additional factors. For multi-factor authentication or two-factor authentication, you can see I have easily the ability to select and turn on any authentication method that I want to use and have enforced when the user is logging in. Then looking at password reset and password complexity. So password reset, you can easily enable. And same thing, you can easily select the authentication methods that you want that user to be able to use when resetting their password. Same thing for password recovery and also account unlock. And then finally, as you saw there, the green complexity rules being shown when I'm typing in that new password. You can configure that here and set any type of complexity that you like that matches your security policy. So again, PortalGuard makes it very easy for IT administrators and the IT team to update security policies, add additional applications for SSO, and manage your users for faster completion of workflows and time savings for busy and limited teams.